Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the polynomials. We have already learned some polynomials in the previous class, so just we'll have a recall and we'll go for our main content. The highest power of x in a polynomial p of x is called the degree of polynomial. So what is the highest? What is the highest in the given polynomial is called the degree of polynomial. First one is a polynomial of degree 1 is called the linear polynomial. Example, x plus 2 square root of 2x plus 9 1 by 7 y plus 7. Here you can notice that the degree is 1, right? The power is 1, exponents 1. The highest power is 1. So the degree is 1. If the degree is 1, the polynomial is called linear polynomial. Here the next example is a polynomial of degree 2 is called quadratic polynomial. If degree is 2, then it is called quadratic polynomial. Example, x square plus 4x, here the highest power is 2. 1 by 4 y square plus 7, here highest power is 2. And 9 z square plus 7 z plus 2, here highest power is 2. So these are the quadratic polynomial. Next, a polynomial with degree 3 is called cubic polynomial. The few example for cubic polynomial is 2 minus x cube, y cube plus 1 by 4, z cube plus z square plus 2z plus 1 by 4. Here you can see all the variables, each polynomial has a highest power 3. So it is a degree of 3. And this polynomial is called cubic polynomial. So here we enter to the main content. If p of x is a polynomial in x and if k is any real number, then the value obtained by replacing x by k in p of x is called value of p of x at x is equal to k, and it is denoted by p of k. So if any real number replacing the x by this any real number, we will obtain a value, right? Example, we will take this polynomial p of x is equal to 2 minus x cube. So now I am going to replace the x by k. The k said any real number. Let me replace by an any number. What number? Any 1. Minus 1 I will take. So p of minus 1. So instead of x, I have to replace the minus 1. So here is the x, here I have to replace the minus 1. So 2 minus 1 the whole cube, right? So okay, 2 minus 1 the whole cube, again it's minus 1, right? Because power is in the odd, so it will be negative number. So 2 minus into minus is a plus, 2 plus 1 is 3, right? The value 3, right? The value is 3 for p of x at x is equal to minus 1. Clear? The value 3. The p of x will take an value 3 at when x is equal to minus 1. Clear? Next also we are going to note some interesting thing. P of x is equal to x square minus 16. I took one example and here x I am going to substitute in a value 4. So what will happen? 4 square minus 16. 4 square is what? 16. 16 minus 16 is equal to 0. Here we obtain the value 0, right? For x is equal to 4. For any, if you obtain a value 0, for the given k is called the zeros of polynomial. It will not for all the real numbers. Only for few real numbers we will get. That is what we are going to learn here. For what are the numbers we will get a zeros of polynomial. Clear? For one equation, how many zeros you will get, and what is the solution? What is that zeros? Everything we are going to learn here. Okay. So if you obtain a 0 value, then they substituted the real values. We substituted the real number here 4, right? Then 4 is called the zeros of polynomial. That is what it says here. This zeros of polynomial. A real number k is said to be a zeros of polynomial p of x if p of k is equal to 0. If p of k, if you substituted the real number k, if you obtained an answer 0, then the k is called a zeros of polynomial. The real number k is said to be zeros of polynomial. In the previous the real number is 4. Then 4 is the zeros of polynomial. Already in the 9th standard, we have found zeros for the linear polynomial, right? Here we are going to find out the quadratic polynomial in the upcoming days. Here let me substitute p of 0. So what will happen? 8 into 0 square plus 4 into 0. So everything is 0, right? 8 into 0 is 0, 4 plus 0 is 0, so 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Here the 0 is the zeros of polynomial. Yeah, sometimes 0, any real number, it can be any positive number, negative number, rational number, maybe sometimes irrational number also. Okay, they said any real number, any real number. So zeros also include. So for negative number also include. We'll see. Next, geometrical representation of the polynomials. And the linear polynomial we represented in the previous class, even though we will recall this. The linear polynomial ax plus bx plus b is a general form of the linear polynomial, and a not equal to 0. Why? If a is equal to 0, then this term will become 0, and it is not a linear, right? That the linear polynomial means the x should be the power 1. If you if you put a 0, then its term will be vanished. That's why has exactly 1 0, namely the x coordinates of the point where the graph y is equal to x by intersect at x axis. So linear polynomial will have a 1 0, and it also intersect at x axis. Only at one point it will intersect. Example I have shown in this figure. If x axis and y axis, this is the line for the given linear polynomial, and it will intersect at only the one point at x. So it have only a 1 0, and in the graph it will intersect at one point. Even this you can see in the x axis intersect at one point, and it have only 1 0. Here you can see it is intersect, but it is not x, it's a y axis, right? So it's a p of x, right? P of x, zeros will be intersect at the x axis. Equation for any quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c is a not equal to 0. This is the general form of the quadratic polynomial we have took, and here also a not equal to 0. If it a is 0, this term will vanish, then it will become a linear polynomial. That's why a not is equal to 0, and b and c, we can, other than 0, it can take any real values. B and c can be 0 also, or any real values. The graph of the corresponding equation has one of the two shapes. If you draw a quadratic polynomial in the graph, you will get one of the two shape, either open upward like this or open downward like this. Depends on whether a greater than 0 or a less than 0. This curve is called parabolas. So these types of curve is called parabolas. So only two types there will be, either it will open upward or open downward. It depends on the a. If a is greater than 0, if a is a positive, then it will open upward. If a is a negative, it will open downward. A is nothing, the coefficient of x square. If the coefficient of x square is a positive, it will open upward. If the coefficient of x square is a negative, that is a is less than 0, it will open downward. So in this case, if you plot in the graph, you will get a three cases. Either the first case is either it will intersect at the x, or it will just touch only one point, or it will never touch, right? Three cases. The first case I said, if it is open downward, it can intersect at the 2, so we will get in a 2 zeros. Also open upward also we will get in a 2. The second case is it will touch only at a 1 point, so the zeros will be a 1 zeros. And the third is it never touch at x axis, that is a no zeros. Clear? Are you clear from this figure? Now, geometrically that quadratic polynomial can either two distinct zeros, that's the first case, it intersect at x axis at 2 points, or two equal zeros. The second case that intersect at only 1 point, that means 2 points is also coincident there. Or no zeros, there is no zeros at all. That is the third case we saw, it is never intersect at the x. So this is almost mean that polynomial of degree 2 has at most 2 zeros, at most 2 zeros. At most mean it can have a 2 zeros, or less than 2, or 1 zeros, or no zeros, right? For the quadratic polynomial. So at most 2 zeros, in the graphical representation we saw, right? Similarly, the polynomial of a degree 3 has at most 3 zeros. So we can generalize from this, we can generalize for the polynomial. The polynomial of degree n has a at most n zeros, not exactly n zeros. At most, it can be equal also. All the sometimes if the figure lies on the x-axis, all the values will be the same, right? It's depend on the figure. Here we go for the problem. Find the number of zeros p of x in each case. How we will find? It's given the p of x, right? So where are the points it intersect at x is the number of zeros. We'll check how many points it intersect at x. Here is 1, 2, 3, right? So how many zeros this graph contains? This graph will have a 3 zeros, right? What about this graph? Same p of x, right? So how many points it touches the x-axis? This is the x-axis. How many points it touch? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will have a 4 zeros. What about next one? Here the line. How many points it touches at the x? Does it touch at x-axis? No, right? It's touching it, but we're touching at the y-axis. But the given case is p of x. So x, it should be intersect at a x-axis. It's never intersect at the x-axis. Then how many zeros? No zeros. Clear? Thank you.